This is an excerpt from my first draft of the book, my work in progress. This is a scene between two characters, a woman and a man in their... I think Amalia's about 19 and Leto is probably 21-ish. That's about the ages that they are in this scene. So, pay attention to the different ways that consent is acknowledged and approached in this scene, and I think it's really cute. She shook her head. Why did you want to come down here again? I flicked my eyebrows, taking a step towards her. Just wanted an excuse to see you. Her eyes narrowed. I thought you said no flirting. I shook my head. I said no fake flirting, no manipulative flirting. I closed my eyes to convince myself that I was not doing exactly that. When I opened them again, she was staring at me, her blue eyes bright with intensity. She took a step towards me. What if I told you it's not fake? I took another step closer to her and picked up her hand. Then I would have no choice but to believe it, would I? She looked down at our hands and back up at me, her mouth slack. I reached out a hand towards her face, and she followed it with her eyes. I raised an eyebrow, and she nodded, so I ran my fingers through her light brown hair. It was soft and smooth. I ran my hand through it one more time and placed it at the nape of her neck. My body was hot, my skin tingling with desire. I'm going to kiss you now, I told her. Is that all right? Yes, she breathed. I leaned in closer and closer, my heart jumping into my throat as our noses touched, finally tasting her lips. Eyes closed, I inhaled deeply as I kissed her, holding her close to me, feeling the warmth of her body, the sweetness of her smell, the satisfaction of acting on an impulse. I opened my eyes and pulled away gently, watching her breathing and smiling, her eyes still closed. I touched her cheek and her eyes fluttered open. I grinned and she grinned back, so I went back for another kiss. The only thing that isn't exactly clarified in this passage is that he takes her hand, but that is something that has happened before between these two characters. So in that moment, it's already sort of understood as okay, which is can sort of fall under the category of implied consent, but maybe I should do it better. Maybe it should be clarified. But the other parts, the tucking of the hair is done with a look. It's a nod. He asks with his eyebrows and she answers with a nod. And the part with the kiss is, he doesn't say, can I kiss you? He says, I'm going to kiss you. But then he says, is that all right? And that opens the door for her to say no. And it's still totally hot and cute because it's not, you don't need the element of surprise for it to be romantic. What you need is to see how they're both feeling. And when he says, I'm going to kiss you, you can see by her response that she wants that. And that's what's important. That is what shows the readers how romantic this moment is.